I have gained over 80 pounds in the last 13 weeks, and the rumor and speculation is out that Robert Frank is back on the sauce, baby. Now, to be back on the sauce would imply that I was on the sauce at one point to then come off the sauce to now be back on the sauce, right? Right, but I'm not. And for those of you who listen to the Glorious House of Gains podcast, you already know all this stuff, everything I was doing and taking, because we keeps it 100% real on the podcast. These kind of platforms like FB and YT, you really can't get into that because there's rules and regulations. Before I get into my weight gain, this is actually the fourth time that I am making the same exact video. I made this video after I gained 30 pounds back. Never uploaded it. Made it after I gained 40 pounds back. Never uploaded it. 50 pounds back. Never uploaded it because I didn't want to deal with the comment section doctors and surgeons and medical professionals that are going to blame my gear usage and all that on my condition and what put me in the hospital, which is ulcerative colitis, okay? An inflammatory bowel disease, which was diagnosed as an autoimmune disease, which means that it was always in my body. It just decided to come out when it came out. But of course, you're going to get these comment section professionals that know what they're talking about or think they know what they're talking about and be like, aha, that's what did it to you. It was the blah, 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 and it was the blah, blah, blah that did it. When really it didn't, so STFU. But hey, if you could show me any links or medical documentation that could prove that gear usage has anything to do with ulcerative colitis, knock yourself out, I'll take a look. For those of you keeping score at home, before I went into the hospital, I was 209 pounds. I got out of the hospital 2 months later at 138 pounds. As of this morning, I'm back up to 209 pounds again, but I look completely different. It's night and day. I'm not shredded anymore. I got no veins anymore. I got my size back. A little bit of my shoulders came back, but I'm nowhere near as lean as I was at 209 in March that I am at 209 here on September 1st. Before we get into the weight gain, because that is the title of this video, I will say this just for complete transparency. I know that I was doing things to my body intentionally that really screwed me up and probably had this autoimmune disease come out faster than maybe it would have. Number one is the foods I was eating. I knew over the past couple years, anything hot or spicy, buffalo sauce, buffalo wings, jalapeno flavored anything, whether it was potato chips or crackers or anything, within minutes, I was in the bathroom crapping my brains out. I just kept eating it because I loved the foods and I was like, I'm close to a bathroom, who cares? That didn't do my large intestines any favors. Also, the amount of alcohol I was drinking. I was drinking heavily every single night, not just on weekends like normal people. I was drinking every single night. It was a problem. I recognized it at the time, but I kind of just made a joke about it because who was I hurting but myself? And I'm sure that didn't do my digestive system any favors. I was getting some dental procedures done earlier in the year before I went to the hospital, which they prescribed me antibiotics for. It is a known fact that antibiotics will screw up your digestive tract. So that didn't do my digestive system any favors. And last but not least, Glorious House of Gains podcast listeners know this, and I think I'm allowed to say this on FB and YT, but I had a painkiller addiction. I was taking over 4,000 milligrams of prescribed ibuprofen a day, along with anything else I could get my hands on. And you could fill in the blanks of what they were, but let's just say they were on the street level. Yeah, I had a problem. And, but again, we've talked about that again on the Glorious House of Gains podcast. So here's the deal. Here's how I gained this weight back. I started eating everything in sight. When I got out of the hospital at 138 pounds, I was mortified. Every time I looked in the mirror, I cried at least once a day because that's not the Robert Frank that you guys know. That ain't the Robert Frank that I know. And I was in a bad way when I got out of the hospital. Every time I looked in the mirror, I cried. So I was eating anything and everything to put the weight back on. Drive-thrus, chicken wings, burgers, anything. Milkshakes every day, ice cream, everything to put the weight back on. Another thing that has helped with my weight gain is that little thing that I didn't believe existed, but now I guess I believe it exists, is muscle memory. And muscle does way more than fat. And now that I've been going back to the gym for 3 straight months, I have not missed a day. I didn't take a rest day. I didn't take this day or that day. I've been going every single day since they allowed me back in the gym on June 1st, which I actually went 2 days early. May 29th, I've been in the gym every day doing something. Have taken no days off. That has helped me get some of my size back, although it doesn't look the way it did because I'm not taking the chemicals that I was taking at the time. I'm not lifting as heavy as I normally can because everything pulls on my stomach right now. I'm not lifting as intensely as I can because I just don't have the gas or the wind anymore to do that. But hopefully by summer 2022, I will be back to the Robert Frank that you guys know and love. Now, here's what's scaring me. The surgeon that is doing my surgery in 16 days, September 16th, told me not to be over 160 pounds because they want to go in with the robot to go in, make 3 little holes, and the robot does what it has to do. It's a 5.5-hour surgery, and the recovery time gets cut in half or better. If they have to slice me back open again, I'm going to be out of the gym again for probably 2 months, which I don't want. How am I going to lose 49 pounds in 16 days? I don't think I can, but I'm going to do my best to lose as much as I can because if they tell me when I wake up from anesthesia and they say, hey, we couldn't do the robot because you had too much BMI, I'm going to be very mad at myself. So right now, I'm focusing more on cardio, I'm focusing on cleaning up my diet, and I'm focusing on just praying that this next surgery goes well so we could get rid of this bag and we could get back to a jacked 10 and juicy AF summer of 2022. There will be another video, and I'm going to go into all the good stuff. I just don't know if I could post it here. But when I do make the video, I'll let you guys know where it's at, where you can find it. And for those of you curious, some people just don't want to know this type of stuff. But anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.